As part of the Knowledge Management and Information Systems module on the MSc Management and Finance program, students were asked to evaluate the strategic importance of knowledge management practices with reference to tacit and explicit knowledge in helping organizations to achieve their long-term objectives. The following presentation will draw on conclusions and summarizes the strategic importance of KM practices in today's firms. In 1994, the Japanese organizational theorist Nonaka stated what knowledge the organization has and how rapidly it learns are becoming as important as what it currently produces. The value of these knowledge resources help companies to grow, but without them, companies can go bust. In today's firms, CKB, KS, and OL are essential within modern organizations. Knowledge management practices help organizations to develop skills and new behaviors, whereby the organization can compete more effectively, reduce knowledge acquisition time, and storing and disseminating knowledge within the organization, promoting a culture of knowledge sharing. Information security restricts rival companies from gaining access to sensitive data. Organizations that learn and adjust their behaviors to reflect that learning by creating new business processes and by changing patterns of management decision making. This process of change is called organizational learning. When these new behaviors are found, documentation, patterns, and rules must be stored so employees can retrieve them. For this purpose, OL, or organizational learning, is essential to reduce the level of effort and time taken to acquire knowledge. Through OL, it is possible to use diverse sources to acquire knowledge. Use the central knowledge base to store knowledge, share knowledge amongst all KWs or knowledge workers, as well as allow changes to the stored knowledge by the KW using their prior experiences. More discussion on OL will take place later in the presentation. The practice of knowledge acquisition and sharing. The knowledge acquisition and KW's time could be saved through OL, as mentioned previously. Collaboration and continuous knowledge learning would also take place if new knowledge is shared with the rest of the employees of the organization. The knowledge present in the knowledge base must be used in such a way that employees are able to make informed decisions in their problem-solving and decision-making activities, which in return reduces the cost and time for the organization at large. A key term which must be highlighted is KS, or knowledge sharing, which allows for embedded or tacit knowledge to be transferred to explicit knowledge. Companies depend heavily on a CKB. However, the existence of the central knowledge base on its own was found to be insufficient. The organization was required to create and share knowledge. There will be further discussion later in the presentation. Knowledge which is acquired is then stored and disseminated through a central knowledge base. This in turn is stored in various forms such as reports, memos, documents, and training courses. Use of these knowledge resources play a strategic role in the organization. In today's organizations, knowing how to do things effectively and efficiently in ways that other organizations cannot duplicate is a primary source of profit and competitive advantage that cannot be purchased easily by competitors in the marketplace. The training of new staff adds value to the workforce, which in return increases the quality of employees. For the creation of valuable output and achievement of competitive advantage, the product and service quality improvement could be enhanced through competitive advantage, along with the cost and production reduction, the service and product speedy delivery, and increase accuracy in the production and services. It is now possible to reduce the costs related to mistakes at work, and the organization is able to increase its profits by resolving these mistakes. Today, Chief Knowledge Officer Executive and Knowledge Manager positions are part of the organizational structure and play a vital role in the communities of practice. The practices assist with managing the knowledge. Decision making and problem solving is now done through the use of the CKB. For decision making and problem solving, as a means of achieving competitive advantage, useful knowledge must be attained by the workers. The required knowledge must be acquired and shared in order to support the operations of the business. This brings us back to Nunaka. Knowledge management practices are of strategic importance to an organization. The link between organizational learning, the new knowledge, storing the knowledge in a database for retrieval, and sharing the knowledge. Nevertheless, the practice of protecting knowledge is of equal strategic importance to the organization. Similarly, without the appropriate knowledge security or information security, organizations stand the chance of losing this key resource. In fact, the loss of knowledge resources such as proprietary information or innovative capabilities would cause the company to fail. In conclusion, the KM plays a strategic role in an organization through the continuation of knowledge acquisition, storage, and dissemination. An organization can learn from mistakes, keep a record, and avoid it in the future. The process of OL save the KW's time, and new behaviors allow the organization to improve on its processes, delivering time, production costs, and material costs. This knowledge inevitably gives the company a competitive advantage over other companies who cannot do what they have learned to do. This brings us to the end of the presentation. I'd like to thank you for watching. The following are a list of my references.